Hey guys, it's Hannah here, and today I am back with a What's in My Makeup Bag January recap edition. I'm gonna see how we go with these this year. It's something that, again, I really enjoy doing a monthly makeup basket to be able to go through my products and make sure I'm using everything. Make sure I'm still kind of feeling how I'm feeling about them. And yes, the makeup basket that's got most of my things in it at the moment is this gorgeous bag that my mum made me, and it's got princesses on it, and it is fantastic. So this has the products I used in January in it, and then what's in February is in my basket already. So let's talk through some of the products that I used. So base wise, I'm project panning my base, so you can see all that in my project pan videos. But let's talk about some of the other products. So even within that project pan, I have blush, bronzer and highlighter that I'm using. I have brows and such. But even with those things in my project pan, I still wanted to try out particularly blush, bronzer and highlighter this month. So for bronzer, I am panning a powder bronzer. So I wanted to pull out a cream, which you think being summer is probably, I don't know, I can't decide if summer's the time for a cream or not, but I pulled out my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun Kissed Glow Bronzer in the shade Fair. This is beautiful. It is something that I only picked up last year. So I picked this up when I picked up the contour wand and tried them both out for wedding makeup. This is a fantastic color. It is a little bit like, it is pretty neutral. There is a little bit of warmth to it, but it's pretty neutral. I wanted to swatch it against the Rare Beauty bronzer stick in Bright Side because I think this is just a slight bit, I was going to say I thought it was more neutral, but it's looking more warm toned. Yeah, okay. I don't know how that's kind of coming across. Like, it's the Rare Beauty's a little bit more rosy in tone, but they're still both quite neutral, very similar in depth. But the Charlotte Tilbury is a stiffer product because it is in a pan and not a stick. So there's that. But I just used my Sephora 55 mini and bounced that on, and it was fantastic. It blended beautifully, gave me a good bronze, and then when I wanted to set with powder, I could. I really like this. I've been getting into cream bronzers in the last kind of 12 months. I focused on panning the Rare Beauty last year, and that really opened my eyes to, I do like cream bronzer. But for ease of application, I've been sticking to powder. Speaking of powder bronzer, we have the Gucci bronzing powder in the shade number 1. Now this is definitely a rosy toned blush, so it paired quite well with something that was a little bit more neutral because it definitely pulled that kind of sunburnt look that I go for in the summer months. So it pulls that reddish tone, which makes you look like you're naturally more sun-kissed, or at least for me, look naturally more sun-kissed. I need new makeup wipes. So the red tone of that bronzer is fantastic for giving a really kind of natural sunburny look, which I really enjoyed in the warmth that was January. And it's just a fantastic formula. It's really beautiful. Other cheek products, I am panning again a creamy kind of blush. So I pulled out 2 powder blushes, one matte, one shimmery. So we had the YSL Make Me Blush in number 6. This is not a blush I would have gone for even 2 or 3 years ago. It is, you know, nice and close for you. It is on the peachier side. It is on the pinkier side. It is not as neutral as I usually go for with a blush, but for summer, it's beautiful. I also pulled out my MAC Warm Soul Mineralized Blush. And again, I love this for a warm, glowy cheek, which summer just kind of calls for. I say as I have my neutral glowy cheek on today. Like, that is half oil, half glowy cheek, but so one a little bit more pinky. This one's definitely more peach in the MAC, so I would wear, yeah, the MAC makes the YSL look only pink, but it looks kind of peachy on its own. But beautiful, and they paired beautifully with my cream blush. And then highlight, I'm painting a liquid highlighter. So I grabbed two powder highlighters. First is the NARS Light Reflecting Luminizing Powder in Eros. This I did stab my finger in. It is just the most beautiful goldy champagne. This is the newest highlighter to my collection, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. Like, that was so much. But it just works beautifully, gives the most beautiful glow to the skin. And then Rare Beauty Mesmerize, which is more pinky, and like, look at the dip I am making in that because it is such a soft powder. This is like a rose goldy blush, not blush, highlight. So again, it's something I prefer in the warmer months when I have a bit of colour. I don't know. I never usually get a lot of colour. I'm really good at avoiding the sun, but that's when that highlighter works best for me. Alright, moving on to eyes. I had two single eyeshadows and two palettes. There was a time where I wasn't really wearing a whole lot of makeup in January, so I didn't pull out a lot. The first palette I pulled out was my Nomad Fairy Tale Europe palette. And this is absolutely beautiful. I love it. But I don't reach for at least half of this palette, if not more. I can tell you in the month, and this was the only palette I had in for like the first few weeks, I reached for these three mattes, this one, and this one. And that is all I reach for in the whole month. But it is so beautiful, and it's princess themed, and I don't know if I could see myself getting rid of it just because of the theming itself. Like, it is so me. Like, so me. But I definitely don't use the variety of shades that are in this palette at all. Keeping with the princess theme, and again, I'm probably keeping this way more for the theme than for the palette itself. This is the Sigma Beauty and the Beast palette. And again, I think I use like 4 of these shades in the palette. So this kind of 4 quad is basically what I use regularly. I definitely pull in a little bit of Cogsworth not Cogsworth. Where is Cogsworth's a different shade. No, yeah, I like Cogsworth. Bookworm is the one that I kind of dip into, but like this side I don't use particularly often. I don't go this dark regularly. This shimmer is great, but this one is kind of unimpressive. Again, I think I'm keeping it more for the theming than the amount of this that I use. But it's pretty. I do have to say the thing I used the most is my 2 new eyeshadows that I picked up while holidaying. So I picked this one up at the airport duty free, and I picked this one up in New Zealand because it was sold out in Australia. And these are definitely the 2 things I got the most use out of in combination with my Charlotte Tilbury Cream eyeshadow. If you miss the Tom Ford eye duo in the platinum shade, which had the cream shadow that was basically the exact same as Oyster Pearl from Charlotte Tilbury. And then the beautiful topper shade. And I think Auric has one that is this color combo, but I don't have it, so I can't comment. My Auric one, I don't even have it anymore because it was the orangey one. The combination, like, it's expensive. The Bobbi Brown Moonstone Luxe Eyeshadow Rich Sparkle in Moonstone on top of the Charlotte Tilbury Oyster Pearl is that eyeshadow duo combination. Now, this eyeshadow has been something that I have swatched every single time I have gone to the airport, the Sydney International Airport, at least for the last 5 years. I'm going to say 6 years, because then I can tell you I have been overseas every year except 2021 in the past 6 years. So 2020, 2022, 3, 4, and 5. So in the last 6 years, I've been overseas 5 times. I've been in that international airport 5 times. And I have swatched this eyeshadow every single time. And I haven't bought it. It was in a holiday palette. And I missed it. Lauren May Beauty talked about this years ago. And I never bought it. And then my adoring husband, on our honeymoon, said, buy the eyeshadow. You keep looking at it. So I did. And it is absolutely divine. Absolutely divine. That is probably the longest story time. It is so beautiful. It is the most gorgeous wet topper shade, and it has like been like that for years. Now, I have not done this comparison because I don't want to do this comparison because MAC and Bobbi Brown are both owned by Estee Lauder. This is the MAC Sparktacular Extra Dimension Foil Eyeshadow. The Extra Dimension Foil Eyeshadow in Sparktacular. This is the eyeshadow that I believe gives me basically the same look that I'm describing as the Moonstone with the... Okay. No, it's more warm. Fractionally more warm and a lot less glitter particles. Not that you can see that swatched out on my hand. But yeah, the base color is different and the Moonstone has more sparkle. I can justify it to myself. But and that is a discontinued product. This was a Christmas limited edition shadow. That I also love topping over Oyster Pearl. That Bobbi Brown eyeshadow is absolutely phenomenal. And I wore it so much. Speaking of MAC Christmas limited edition eyeshadows, because we know I like to collect them. I only have 4. I feel like in terms of collecting, I haven't done as much as I used to. This is the Glimmer for Breakfast Jelly Shine Eyeshadow. It is probably... So I didn't buy last year's collection. I don't think I bought from... Was Sparktacular the year before that? It has been a while since I bought a MAC Christmas eyeshadow. And honestly, I almost didn't buy any this year. I almost didn't. Because I swatched the 3 shades when they came to Australia. And I was like, I like these 2, but I can't decide. And then I wore them around and they had completely dusted off by the end of the day. And I'm like, that means I don't need them. And then I swatched them again and this one was out of stock. And this is Glimmer for Breakfast. And it looks like it doesn't swatch. Like it does, but it doesn't on camera show the different colors of reflect in here. It is very much a topper shade. So again, topped over something like Oyster Pearl, which I'm panning at the moment, that's why I'm talking about it so much, is fantastic. But it is just this, you can kind of see it there, this reflective, multi-dimensional eyeshadow. And it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And again, it is probably the thing I reach for the most. Those 2 single eyeshadows and the Charlotte Tilbury. I did Sorry, I forgot. I did bring in another thing, and I probably use this 2 or 3 times. This is the Moondust Space Rider quad from Christmas 2023. Looks like this. I wore this twice. I used Space Cowboy with a Star Cowgirl, and then I used Cosmic Space Dust and Star Cowgirl. It's super pretty. It gives me sparklies because the Beauty and the Beast wasn't giving me enough sparkle. Probably didn't need to pull it in, but I love that palette, so I will keep it for sure. Alright, lips. 2 lip liners, 1 warm, 1 cool. Vive Brat is one of my favorite, like, it looks cool toned there, but it does pull some warmth. I think when I put BFF from Colourpop next to it, it's gonna, there we go. It still doesn't pull as warm as you think. Yeah, there we go. On camera it does. So Vive Brat, Colourpop BFF, which is a true like neutral, cool neutral, and then this is just a little bit warm of a pink. With these, I paired my fun colour for the last bit of summer, Revie Tulip. This is just so pretty for like a bit of pink on the lips. And if you don't even want that much of an effortless lip pink, you go the Milani Fruit Fetish Lip Oil in Raspberry Peach, which just gives you the sheerest wash of pink that you can't even see in a swatch. But on your lips, it just gives you a little bit. This was my, I'm just leaving the house, but I'm not wearing makeup, throw this on. Revie was, I want something fun. Then I grabbed used the Lisa Eldridge Sweet Fig, which is this kind of true brownie glossy, and it was beautiful with the BFF lip liner. Then something a little bit cooler. I have to be careful with this. This is Whisper by Lawless. This is the Whisper Balm Stick, and it is very much a cool toned, quite light nude. So I did actually wear this more with Brat than with BFF because I needed something to warm it up with it so I didn't look dead. And then for my warm lip option, Teddy 2.0 is just like those two pair together so well. And it's the Velvet Powder Kiss lipstick. Beautiful, super comfy on the lips. Nice and light. Fantastic. And that is it. That is what I wore in January. I really enjoyed playing with those products, mixing it up with my Project Pan stuff. Definitely some products I'm keeping in my collection for theming over usability, but otherwise some real winners. I'm really happy that I love the newest products to my collection, so the NARS, the Bobbi Brown and the MAC so much. It's good to see. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. What have you been trying lately? What is in your current rotation? Let's chat about it. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Click subscribe to stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.